So as you can see, as it's written here in the book of Exodus, chapter 12, right here. And this is what the Most High says. This is how we're supposed to keep the Pesach, right? And we're going to start at verse 1, or as is shown here, 12, and it reads, And the Most High spake unto Moshe and Aaron in the land of Mitzrayim, saying, verse 2, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year. Okay, the first month of the year. All right, so that's not talking about in the dead of winter. Okay, in the month of December. All right, that's not the beginning of months. That's not the new year according to the Hebrew calendar, right? Verse 3, Speak ye unto all the congregation of Yasharallah, saying, In the 10th day of this month, they shall take to them every man a lamb according to the house of their fathers. A lamb for a house. Okay, so during this month, on the 10th day, okay, which was technically 4 to 5 days ago, you were supposed to acquire a lamb. All right. Verse 4. And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the numbers of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your count for the lamb. All right. So right here, it's letting you know that your soul isn't your spirit. All right. Just as I did a video concerning this like nearly 5 years ago. You know, when it speaks of your soul, it's speaking about your physical body. All right. So right here, this is not to be confused with spirit. All right. So, and I do know, you know, when you're dealing with the New Testament, you know, it sort of uses soul and spirit interchangeably, right? But technically, this is speaking about your physical body, right? Because your spirit can't eat anything. Okay. The spirit doesn't have the same attributes as a physical soul does, or a physical body that's in the world, right? So it said, take it according to the number of the souls, every man according to his eating shall make your count for the lamb. Verse 5. Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. Ye shall take it out from the sheep or from the goats. Now, this is another thing that a lot of brothers and sisters don't realize, right? They think that for Pesach, the only thing that you're supposed to have is just a lamb or sheep. But right here in verse 5, it's letting you know that you're supposed to have a goat too, if you can't acquire sheep. The Most High is letting you know that it's okay to acquire a goat, right? As long as it's within 1 year, okay? Which is the kid. That's what they call baby goats, kids, right? And that's what they call baby sheep, lambs. So it's either lamb or kids of the goats, all right, that you're supposed to inquire. All right. I'll see you later, Jordan. You know, just doing a little video here. I'll see y'all later. All right. All right. Verse 6. And ye shall keep it until the 14th day of the same month. And the whole assembly of the congregation of Yasharallah shall kill it in the evening. Okay, so when it says right here, the whole assembly of the congregation of Yasharallah, right? That means whoever you with. Okay, like for the people who may not be a part of camps or whatever, or they might not have anyone that's in their local area that's of the same faith. It could just be you in your household. You know, you in your household, the people that's within your household is considered a congregation of Israel. All right. You know, everyone in your household, hopefully, is a part of the nation of Yasharallah according to the seed, right? Hopefully nobody out there dating heathen wives or heathen husbands or whatever, or have so-called mixed children. Okay, you got to be fully a part of the nation of Yasharallah, man. All right. Verse 7. And they shall take of the blood and strike it on the two side posts and on the upper doorposts of the houses wherein they shall eat it. All right. So you got to put it on the doorposts of your house, man. Right. It doesn't technically have to be, real authentic blood from a sheep or a kid of the goat, because not everyone could acquire something like that. Right. So it resembles it, or it's a representation of it, like, some red paint, or maybe some red ribbons, or, a red cloth or something like that. You can use that as a representation of the blood that's on the doorpost, right? Or the blood of Hamashiach that was shed for us, right? Verse 9. Eat not of it raw, nor sodden at all with water, but roast with fire, his head and his legs, and with the pertaining thereof. Okay, so you can't even season this bad boy, right? You can't season it. You can't soak it in water. Okay, you can't broil it, right? You just gotta put it in a pan, or put it in a, just get you like an aluminum pan or whatever. Or if you got a grill or something like that, just throw it on the grill straight like that. You can't season it, can't do nothing like that. Just bake it, broil it, or just put it on the grill, right? Verse 10. And ye shall let nothing of it remain until the morning, and that which remaineth of it until the morning ye shall burn with fire. All right, so everything that you cook that evening, concerning your lamb or concerning your goat, if anyone can't finish it off, then you got to burn the rest with fire. Basically, just throw it away, right? Verse 11. And thus shall ye eat of it with your loins girded. Okay, meaning that you got to have your trousers on, your breeches, your pants, right? And your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand, and ye shall eat it in haste. It is the Lord's Passover, or Lord's Pesach, right? So you got to eat it in haste, fully dressed. Okay, and for the men, or the head of the households, you got to have a staff in your hand, right? And then it says right here, verse 12, for I will pass through the land of Egypt, which is bondage, right, this night, and will smite all the firstborn of the land of Egypt, both man and beast, and against all the lowercase gods, okay, of Egypt, I will execute judgment. I am Wamalak, which is the Most High, right? Verse 13. And the blood shall be on to you for a token upon the houses where ye are. And when I see the blood, or the representation of the blood, right, I will pass over you. Okay, so this is what the Passover is all about, man, right? The first evening of the Passover, it's about the Most High passing over us while he's executing judgment on a land of Egypt, which is bondage for us, right? It doesn't matter if it's ancient Egypt. It doesn't matter if this is figuratively Egypt, in which we're in today. Okay, metaphorically speaking. All right, so this is what the Most High is going to do during the Passover. This is what this day is a representation of. It's not supposed to be a party or a huge gathering. All right, because you got to be within your homes or within your tents or whatever, and you got to have that blood on the doorposts. Okay, and then after you eat in haste, then you got to get prepared for the Lord's Passover. Not, meeting and greeting and having a party and listening to music and all of that stuff. Not hating on everyone who's doing that, but technically they're not keeping the Passover properly. This is how you're supposed to keep the Passover. You're supposed to be in your own homes, eating in haste, and then waiting for the Most High to pass over and judge our enemies, man. All right? Not partying and tossing the wine up and stuff like that. And you're not supposed to be doing that. Now, during the 8th day, you can do that, right? When you have the assembly of the congregation for the closing of the Passover. Now, during the 8th day, you can congregate. But the first day, right, which is the 14th going into the 15th day, which is unleavened bread also, you're supposed to be in your own homes, man, right? Verse 14, and this day shall be unto you for a memorial, and ye shall keep it a feast unto the Most High Power throughout your generations. That means forever, man. Throughout your generations, okay? So that means you, your son, your grandson, your great-grand, okay? 3 to 4 generations down, right? That's what the Most High requires, all right? Ye shall keep it a feast by an ordinance forever. Okay, so there's no confusion with that. That doesn't mean sometime. That doesn't mean for a certain period of time. This means forever. You're supposed to be keeping this ordinance, man, right? If you're a part of the nation of Yasharallah, which is the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians of Afroid Negro descent, you're supposed to be keeping this day, man. Not so-called Easter or Ishtar or Astarif, right? That's a pagan custom, man. And anything pagan, wow, you can hear those pigs. Those pigs are definitely screaming on that truck, man. Right? And it's crazy. I should have switched it to the camera so you guys can see it. They probably preparing those pigs for so-called Easter. They got to have that so-called Easter's ham, right? They don't believe in having the Passover lamb. They believe in having the Easter's ham. Right? That's what the heathens do, man. So they don't follow the customs of the Most High, right? We're supposed to be following the customs of the Most High, man, which is the nation of Yasharallah, right? Verse 15, 7 days shall ye eat unleavened bread, even the first day ye shall put away leaven out of your houses, for whosoever eateth unleavened bread from the first day until the 7th day, that soul shall be what? Cut off from Yasharallah, meaning that you're not going to gain salvation of the Most High, man, right? Verse 16, and in the first day there should be a holy convocation, and in the 7th day there should be an holy convocation unto you. No matter of work shall be done in them, meaning that they're Sabbaths, right? So they got to treat these days like the holy Sabbaths. No work, no dealing with money, none of that stuff. Now, during the 1st and 7th day, you can do that during the unleavened bread. I mean, you can pretty much work. You can deal money, go out shopping, right? But you can't buy anything with leaven in it. And you got to put out your spiritual leaven. Okay, you got to put away the old man and the old women. All right, all of the false doctrines that you've been following. Okay, or anything that you've been bamboozled in or deceived in or hoodwinked, right? That you've been taught to believe. Like, say, for instance, the new moon is the full moon, or the Shabbat is Tuesday to Wednesday, right? They got to put away that false leaven, man. Okay. Verse 17. And ye shall observe the feast of unleavened bread. For in the same self day have I brought your armies, which is your people, out of the land of bondage. Therefore shall ye observe this day in your generations by an ordinance forever, man. Okay? And then right here it says, in the first month of the 14th day of the month at even, which is technically tomorrow, all right, ye shall eat unleavened bread until the 21st day of the month at even. So this is talking about the first month, which is the month of Abai, okay, or Nisan, when the captivities was changed, right? So it's going to be from tomorrow until the next 7 days. You're supposed to have unleavened bread. Okay. And also nothing with leaven in it. All right. No vinegar, no yeast, no leaven, anything that blows up your food, right? No pasta, none of that stuff, right? No cheese or any kind of condiments, any kind of sauces with vinegar or any kind of leaven in it. You're not supposed to be having it, right? Verse 19. 7 days shall there be no leaven found in your houses, for whosoever. Now, when I speak of houses, right, it could be technical or it could be metaphorical, right? The houses could be your technical house, your literal house, or it can be your bodies, your temples, right? So it says, 7 days shall there be no leaven found in your houses, for whosoever eateth that which is leavened, okay, which can be literal food or false doctrine, even that show shall be cut off from the congregation of Yasharallah, whether he be a stranger or she be a stranger or born in the land. All right. Verse 20. Ye shall eat nothing leavened in all your habitations, wherever you at, shall ye eat unleavened bread. Okay, so the Most High is reiterating this. He's serious about this. You're not supposed to be eating anything that's leavened, okay, literal or spiritual, for 7 straight days, not 40 grievous days of Lent, man, or Ramadan. All right. Verse 21. Then Moshe called for all the elders of Yasharallah and said unto them, draw out and take you a lamb according to your families and kill the Passover. All right. So I'm going to stop right there with this in the book of Exodus chapter 12. I guess you guys can read the rest. Let me see if I can switch back over to this camera without it cutting off on me.